think, though, that if the United States did enter this war, I don't think it'd be a forever war. Trump's talked about not wanting to ever have forever wars. We didn't have any wars when he was first in office, and now we might have one, but we hope we don't.
Remember, we were in the forever war when he was in office. He said he was going to get us out of that war. Then Joe Biden is the president who got us out of that war. And remember,
the Afghan withdrawal, which killed tons of troops.
Yeah, which goes to show you can never get out. Which means you can never get out of war easily.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for choosing to hang out with your host, the Conservative Bird, and me, Double D. And you're on the Brick Road Podcast.
Welcome back, everybody. We really appreciate you guys stopping by and hanging out with us again. Also, if you could, please make sure to hit the like, hit the share, hit the subscribe, smash the notification. It is the quick, easy, and free way to help this channel grow. We got a lot of crazy stuff going on right now, especially with Iran. They're in the middle. We just took out their leader. They're in the middle. They're bombing places like Qatar or whatever. They're sending all kinds of bombs out. So, Nick Shirley, being the great investigative journalist that he's learning to be, he's out talking to the people of America. Actually, this is in Seattle, in America, about how they feel about it. And it's crazy that so many people are just so anti-American nowadays.
Yeah, and we were talking about this the other day too. There's kind of a lot of division right now with the whole. I myself, I don't know. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I'm having a wait and see attitude about everything.
Yeah, that's kind of how I've been too. But I do think it's kind of sad that people would actually, choose the enemy over their own country, and that's kind of where this goes, right?
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, I mean, basically, and this actually, you were just telling me earlier that Nick Shirley actually sent this to Glenn Beck and had him put it out before he even put it out on YouTube.
They played clips from it on the radio.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess you could say, that. But as far as I know, it was like they played a couple clips, and what I heard, it didn't sound like. Well, we'll watch it. We'll watch. It sounded to me like, the people he was talking to hated America more than they hated, Iran, honestly.
Well, let's get into it.
Who do you trust more, the Ayatollah, Netanyahu, or Donald Trump?
Easy, the Ayatollah.
Keep driving! Iran, Israel, and the United States. Who do you trust the most?
Iran.
We can't tell another country that they can't have nuclear power. That's arrogant. We need to talk about America's rights.
So hold on a minute, right? I have a question, Double D. These are the same people, right? These are the same people that want us to stop Israel from what's going on with Palestine, right? So why do they want us to get involved in that and us stop that, but they don't want us to get involved in this?
Because the Iranian situation goes against their agenda. Palestine, they got a lot of there's more Palestinians in America than there are in Palestine these days, and that's a very strong voting base. Yes, we've seen a lot of Iranians partying in the streets of New York and protesting in favor of Donald Trump, but they really are not. They definitely don't have the same voting numbers. Let's put it that way. And that's what it comes down to. You want to know the truth? Honestly, the Democrats are about whatever votes they can get. They don't care if you're on the right or wrong side.
Oh, yeah, they're all about pandering.
As long as you're willing to vote Democrat. Yeah, as long as you're willing to vote Democrat.
Yeah, they're all about pandering to try and pander to you. That's all it is.
Yeah, that's all it is.
We have 4% of the global population. We shouldn't talk to Christ. Yeah. Okay.
Even if that's true, so what?
Right.
به همین دلیل هم هست که قدرت کشور انشالله
States just completely obliterated.
So I just want to make sure people in America know that when they say infidels, they're talking about everyone not of their religion.
We're talking about non-Muslims. Pretty much everybody who's a non-Muslim is a infidel.
Iran's top secret Fordo nuclear facility.
Mass protests in Iran now. President Trump posting a stark warning to Iran's leadership. If the regime kills peaceful protesters, American forces are locked and loaded. The head of Iran signaled there would be fast trials and execution despite a warning from President Trump.
A short time ago, the United States military began major combat operations in Iran. To the great proud people of Iran, I say tonight that the hour of your freedom is at hand. Take over your government. It will be yours to take. This will be your only chance for generations. Iran's formerly supreme leader,
right about
Ayatollah
that. Yeah.
Khamenei, is dead.
Adios, amigo.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, whether you hate the conflict in Iran or don't
Here
hate the
in
conflict
Seattle,
in
right
Iran,
behind us, we have a.
or you think the president's right or you think the president's wrong, they got rid of Khamenei, and I'm cool with that.
Yep.
Either way, I'm cool with that.
Says no
Exterminating
war
his
in
ass was
Iran. We'll
needed.
see what you have to say. Here we go. How you guys doing? What's the sign say? No war on Iran. Arms embargo on
They don't
Israel
have a very
now.
big
What does
crowd
arms
there.
embargo on Israel now mean?
It basically means to stop supplying arms and weapons to Israel. I don't think there should be a war going on. All this is doing is killing innocent civilians.
Does it concern you if Iran does have a nuclear weapon?
They don't, so it doesn't concern me.
Leads you to think they do not have a nuclear weapon.
They were part of a treaty that they don't have one. So
Time out for
I
a
also-
second, Bird. Time out for a second.
The people chanting death to infidels aren't going to give no shits about a treaty.
No, listen, check this out too. They were actually, this is the one part they were talking about. Glenn Beck was talking about this after, about how this girl or about how they were making the comments about them having the nuclear power or whatever, and we shouldn't care. Our passivity will likely increase that to many more nuclear weapons. And they were talking about that today. It's like right now, okay, yeah, you could be passive, but 20 years down the road, this is what you're going to inherit when you're in your 40s and 50s.
Exactly. So it's about protecting the future and the now.
Exactly.
It's about protecting the now and the future. Yeah, because, a president's job isn't just to do things for the now. It's to do things to secure for the future for the betterment of the people.
Especially the national security and the sovereignty of our nation. So, and right now they were making it very clear in that death to America, death to England. They've already taken over England. They own that.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, England and Germany and France, they have to kowtow to their Islamic population. But we're still in a situation here where we can still have control of our country. And if they lose control of it now, the future does not look good. That's all.
Don't
So I'm
really
going to
want
say
to be
that.
interviewed, so
Okay, no worries. Thank you so much for your time.
Have been murdering children,
We have probably
women, and
50
men in
people or so
Gaza.
out here today.
Just this week, they cite starving
Let's see what these
children
signs say.
standing in food aid lines to receive flour.
How you guys doing? What's the sign
They
say?
got less people than the No King rally had.
Defend Gaza, Iran, Lebanon, and Yemen against Israel, U.S. genocide, or international. What are you most worried about for this war potentially break out if the United States does get involved?
Wait, who are you people?
My name is Nick Shirley.
How do you comment on those protests?
How do I comment on this protest?
Yeah, what is your...
Well, this issue, it's news. I don't have too much opinion on it. That's why we came here to talk to people that have a lot of opinions on it.
All we can really say is we're opposed to any imperialist war that the U.S. wages on any country, and we're opposed to the massive
It's not a war yet, by the way.
And we call upon...
Yeah, this isn't necessarily
Did they
a war.
declare war on us? Did they declare war on us, Bird? Am I missing something?
No, it's not a genocidal war in Iran right now either.
No, I was about to say
They took out a terrorist. I don't get it.
And a couple of other leaders and some soldiers, but I read this morning that the Iranians actually blew up a school. The Revolutionary Guard blew up a school to try to make it look like America did it.
Dang, that's crazy.
I don't know if that's true or not. If anybody in the audience knows about that, feel free to comment on it. I kind of heard it in passing, so
yeah.
Up against any imperialist war that occurs, but that's all we really have to say.
Thank you.
He speaks of
Bye. Okay, never mind. All right, let's move out here. We got some people out here on the street. How you doing, sir? What brings you out here today?
I don't want war.
Dude,
we do have a press liaison.
What?
That looks like the dude that was at the No Kings rally that was like, oh, you know.
It might have been. He might.
He kind of looks like him.
I don't know though. That dude was a little bit more irritated at the No Kings rally. This dude just seems like he's a dork.
No, I'm talking about the one that seemed like he couldn't answer any questions. I'm not really good at this. That guy.
Okay, yeah.
They kind of look alike. I don't think it's the same guy, but he sure looks like him though.
So if you're willing to give the interview, that's totally fine. But I wanted to let them know we have people to give interviews if they're looking for one. So yeah.
I mean, I'm not really with anyone in particular. I'm just here by myself, and I just don't want war. I think world has enough problems.
Do you think Iran poses a threat to Israel and to the United States?
I mean, sure, there's the potential for a threat, but I think we need to be doing things peacefully.
And what would you like them to do?
I would like people, like in the world in general, to just collaborate better, to make more genuine efforts to understand each other's struggles and work on keeping human society alive through what's going to be some really tough decades, even if there's no war.
You think that's possible?
I'd like to try.
Donald Trump did say he was working to try to get a nuclear deal signed for a very long time, and then Iran never wanted to stop their nuclear bomb building.
I don't know the details of what he was actually trying. I still don't think it's right to suddenly start bombing them. I think we need to find another path. Maybe we need to have more talks with the UN or something. When you attack people,
we're not in
even
the UN
though
anymore.
the Iranian state isn't particularly good, it's a rather authoritarian.
So it seems like this guy he watches a lot of CNN.
Well, he's very articulate. His message is wrong, but at least he's articulating
Yeah,
it.
he seems like he watches a lot of CNN and he's just believing everything that they tell him.
Yeah, it also seems like he's kind of one of those. He seems like he's kind of a nice guy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It just seems like he watches CNN and he's just believing everything that they tell him, though.
Right,
But he's harmless. If they're attacked, their people are naturally still going to be patriotic to their own country, most of them. And they're not going to like us. They're certainly not going to like Israel.
All right, let's move on up over here. How are you doing, sir? What's your flag say?
Veterans for Peace.
Say Iran actually is building this nuclear bomb. Do you think the United States should go in?
I don't think they are building the bomb. International agencies have looked at Iran's program. They're not building a bomb. They've been enriching some plutonium. They say that it's for peaceful purposes, and I believe them.
What makes you believe them?
Not when
I
they
believe
say
them
death to America,
because
death to England. Is this guy an idiot?
I know, these people are literally chanting death to us. I don't even care about that.
Dude, did he not see
us.
that video? The Ayatollah was literally getting his people screaming, death to America, death to England. And this guy, what the fuck does he think they're going to try to do with the bomb?
Well, now it looks like death to the Ayatollah.
You careful what you wish for. You live by the sword, you might. That's right. Ayatollah.
as I said, international agencies have determined that they're blameless,
It's kind of a complicated issue, right? Because you have Israel, who are allies of the United States, and then you have Iran, who are not allies of the United States, and they pose a threat to Israel.
That's a good
and
point.
They wish death. There's videos of them saying we wish death upon America, or death to America, death to Israel. So it kind of puts everyone in a hard position.
I've never understood why the United States gives Israel a blank check to do whatever it wants.
Thank you very much, sir. Have a great rest of your day. All right, let's move up here.
I agree with that. I don't disagree with that.
I mean, he's right about the blank check to Israel part.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. I don't disagree with that.
At the same time, I still want to knock out the nuclear capability in Iran. So
yeah, I don't think I think two things can kind of be true about this, where where we did this for our own security and maybe for Israel's security as well. I don't disagree. I wish we'd stop funding all these foreign wars. I wish we'd stop just giving Israel money and just saying, hey, do what you want. But yeah, I don't disagree with this.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Can I ask you a question, Bird? Now, you're not that much younger than me. You're only 17 years younger than me. So you've seen quite a bit in the last 50 years also, because you watched this all growing up with the Iraq thing and, and Lebanon before that, obviously Iran. But there's been a few other countries like Syria. We had a small little twitch with them, and Jordan and a few others. There's always something going on over there, is my point. And Israel is the only country of stability that we actually have in that area with American interests, not at heart, but more at heart than it is with the people surrounding them. So what do you do with that? Is that the enemy of my enemy is my friend?
I don't know. I think sometimes there's situations where you could just stay out of it.
But if they're the only stability and let's just say we stay out of it, what do you think happens then?
I don't know. I don't know. I just know that we're funding so many foreign wars nowadays. It's just getting pathetic.
It is crazy, dude, between Ukraine, Israel, and I'm sure there's a few others going on.
Well, not only that, we also give money to Gaza, so we fund both sides of the war. People don't talk about that we actually do give money to Gaza and stuff, and
that's for like food and weapons and everything else.
Yeah, we're
right?
funding for both sides of the war. So I don't know, man. It's just conflict to me doesn't create anything. I don't see this as a war just yet, though. That's
unless
my
somebody
point.
declares it.
Yeah, I don't see this as a war, especially since it's coming out today that whoever is planning on taking control of Iran, they want to come out and have peace talks with the president.
I read that earlier today that there has been talks of maybe peace, and I think we even saw a video earlier about talks of even like, I don't know, they use the term surrender. I don't think that's the right term to use, but that was the term that they used.
Yeah.
I don't think it's correct because I don't see the Iranians surrendering. Not in their own. You don't surrender in your own country.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
You just don't.
I don't disagree.
You know what I mean? It just doesn't work that way.
I don't
You
disagree.
stop the conflict, but that's it.
Yeah.
On the streets. Can we talk to you real quick? You got the backpack that says "Stop Genocide." Look, you got the LED light set up.
That's sweet.
America number one.
That is a pretty cool
Terrorism,
backpack.
Incarceration, dropping nukes.
Should be drawing. And a cool backpack. Yeah, draw worth of shit.
Come on out! Come on
His
out! Stay right here! Keep driving!
artistry sucks. But
How
his
close do you guys
choice
think we
of
are to World War
electronics
III?
is cool.
World War III has been started. We've been
I
facilitating
agree
World
with
War
that
III for
statement.
over a decade.
What should the United States do, in your opinion? Should they be completely hands off this war?
Well, at this point, we've been so hands-on. We would need to do something to put out the fires that we've already started. We funded Israel. We need to break up all these partnerships, break up entire economies that are based on death and destruction. If you want to get a house in America, you have to sign up and kill people for the government.
What do you mean if you want to buy?
No, you don't.
Who asked it? What the fuck is he talking about?
Who said
Who the hell
that?
came up with that philosophy?
I bought a house and I never did any of that.
Yeah, I've never killed a human being, and I've bought 3 houses in my lifetime.
This guy just is talking out of his ass.
You do not have to.
Most Americans who can't get houses unless they sign up to kill for the military. My family is mostly military. Both my parents were knowingly poisoned by the military bases that they worked at. They thought they were helping take care of us, but it was just like we're poisoning an already sick society.
Do you trust Netanyahu in the Mossad?
What the hell is this guy talking about?
He comes from a military. He's just pissed off at his parents. That's a whiny Gen Zer right there who's mad at his mom and dad because he had to grow up on military bases and go to a different school every 2 years. And you could tell he got beat up a lot.
He's rebelling against his parents.
That's all this is. Yeah, this guy shouldn't even. That guy can't even be taken seriously. He doesn't even know what the fuck he's talking about, for starters.
Right.
You don't have to join the military to own a home. All you got to do is have a good credit score.
Right.
620 and above,
I
Jack.
don't trust
That's what he's got
anybody
to
in
learn to
their
do.
government, my government. Don't trust the Iranian government, but I trust my government less. I trust no one who can blindly accept genocide, calmly talk about killing kids, have cute language to cover up all of their illegalities and evil.
So between Iran, Israel, and the United States, who do you trust the most?
Iran? That's an ancient civilization. Iran, their calendar is...
this morning.
So you live in America, right? And here's what these people don't understand. Double D, here's what these people really don't understand. When they're chanting death to America, they're talking about you too, buddy. They're talking about you.
Oh,
they'll come kill
talking
you.
about him.
They don't care if you support what they're doing. They'll come kill you and say thank you for supporting us.
In 1979, and I'm going to point this out because we probably have a lot of Gen Zers and millennial audience, obviously. Gen Xers already know this, and the boomers already know this. In 1979, when the Ayatollah took over, they used the Socialist Party to get into power. That's what they use. They use the Democratic Socialists to get Islamic people into power, like Ilhan Omar Shalib or whatever her name is. Now, they just happen to be females. They weren't allowed to have any of that. The females were completely kicked out of it. After they threw the regime over and the Ayatollah took over, his first chain of command order was to kill 30,000 of those socialists.
That's insane.
And the rest who converted to Islam. If you converted to Islam and you gave your life to Allah and you were a woman wearing, you put your burqa on, you got to live. But the rest of them, the Democratic Socialists, for the most part, they wiped out 30,000 of them. I believe the number as of today is well over 50,000 now.
Not Gregorian. It goes back way further than anything Europe can imagine.
Who do you think out of, for instance, Iran, the leader, Netanyahu, and Trump, out of those three, who would you rather have leading your country?
I'd rather have a people's revolution. The Ayatollah, sure, he's much better option than we have. They're trying to replace him with the Shah, the old Shah's
Right now,
son.
a lot of people are like in opposition to that regime.
You look at the leadership. Trump, descendant of wealth. Netanyahu, it's just like you come from wealth and privilege and connection, political connection. They want to replace the Ayatollah with the Shah's Iran son, the one who we originally overthrew and replaced. It's like trying to replace Hillary Clinton with Chelsea Clinton. It's like it's the same thing, a different flavor, but then they call that democracy. No one voted for it. So it's like all the stuff we claim to care about. The Iranian people. That's why we want to do a regime change. Just like we heard the same shit during Iraq. We care so much about the Iraqi people that we want to do a regime change. Millions of people are dead, and then we commit more hate crimes on people who look like them than ever because that this is how the propaganda works. We care about them so much, we're going to commit hate crimes on them, and we're going to commit millions of murders.
Anyway, thank you so much. I appreciate you.
What is this guy wearing?
Shirley he's really nice to these people, and the shit that they're saying, I gotta hand it to him, man. He's a class act. Bro.
Well, he's doing.
Nick Shirley is like he's doing God's work.
He's doing true journalism. He's not being biased. He's just literally asking the questions, getting their answer, and saying, "All right, thanks for your answer."
And he's good at it. And you know what? He got this guy to be 100% honest in a situation. I think that, like, say if it was Alex Stein or someone like that, I don't think he would have been so comfortable. You know, those guys are comedians, so obviously it's not the same kind of thing. But he managed to get this guy nice and comfortable. He basically told us the game plan. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
This is about overthrowing. It's a revolution about overthrowing America. He doesn't give a fuck about Iran either. Yeah. He's carrying that flag. He doesn't give a shit about it. All he cares about is overthrowing America. And Nick Shirley got him to admit that.
I wonder what organization you guys are with. Are you guys?
My name's Nick Shirley.
Nick, are you a podcaster?
Yep.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, we're live right now.
Are you with UW? Do you go to UW?
I do not go to UW.
Oh, okay. How did you? What brought you out today?
We're just here in Seattle today, and we saw the flyer, so we came out and wanted to talk to the people.
Oh, fantastic.
Saw it on Reddit.
That's where I saw it too. Are you draft age? Mm-hmm.
I am draft age.
Are you prepared to go to war for the United States if we have to support?
Physically, I could.
Physically, you could. Would you?
I would not want to go to war. No.
You would not want to go to war. Would it be this war or just any war?
They said like this war wouldn't really be a war with troops. It'd be more missiles, bombs, aircrafts, drones, and whatnot. And they say the veterans have said that it would be more of a precision attack where it wouldn't be like a long-lasting war. Right. And I wouldn't want to go put my boots on the ground in Iran. I wouldn't want to die in soil that's not where I'm from.
Do you actually think that we could win a war like this? We would need bombs, drones, and electronic equipment. But right now, we are not successfully getting all of the rare earth minerals that we would need to scale up an attack. Not to mention we're already depleted through the war with Ukraine.
I disagree with that.
I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that.
I don't agree with that at all.
We have one of the strongest militaries in the world.
Not only that, but we have plenty of access to.
Way stronger than Iran.
Dude, we have plenty of access to those minerals she's talking about. There's other countries we've been getting them. We wouldn't be running all these electric cars if we didn't have it.
Exactly. She's talking out of her ass.
She doesn't know what she's talking about.
Yeah,
I bet she drives an electric car too. I'm betting. We don't know that. We're not going to find that out. But I'm just saying, I bet she drives.
She's talking out of her ass.
Like that, have any of them thought about that? We could have a difference of opinion, right? If something falls out of that sky and it's not ours, you and I are immediately on the same team.
Yeah.
Iran, whatever they think about their leadership, do not want their beautiful cities bombed, destroyed, their families in fear, lost,
death.
Do.
Well, they have.
We were talking about migration crises here in this. How do you think these immigrants, these refugees come from? They come from these wars. So what's coming to our shores is the result of American imperialism over the last 100 years. We don't ever see the benefit. Rich men in DC, rich men see the benefit. We never do.
I don't think we should fight and
just the fact that it's 2026 and this psychopath's still wearing a mask, everything she says is out the window.
Yeah, no shit. Like, she thinks that mask is protecting her from getting the COVID.
Right.
The only thing protecting her getting from the COVID is the fact that she's not surrounded by a bunch of people with the COVID.
Pointless wars, and the thing that is concerning about Iran is if they do have a nuclear weapon. For instance, Israel has said they would not hesitate to drop on Israel. Israel are allies with the United States. They're our allies in the Middle East, which is important. We need to have allies in the Middle East.
But don't we have Saudi Arabia as a current ally?
It looks like right now we have a good relationship with Saudi Arabia.
Their oil is tied to our dollar. Understanding that the Middle East is not a monolith is really important because they actually are Shia, Sunni, Muslim, Arab, Persian. It's very, very different there. It is a very complex system. And so, Benjamin Netanyahu went to school in New Jersey. He knows how to manipulate Americans. But when you're going into another country and telling it how to run, you're not going to win everything.
But let's be fair. So do these other countries like Iran and Palestine. They know how to manipulate Americans too.
Dude, fucking what was his Osama bin Laden was educated in an American college.
Right.
The fuck is her point?
These people just talk out of their ass.
That is the whole
point. She talks out of her mask.
Point of diplomacy and concessions.
I do think, though, that if the United States did enter this war, I don't think it'd be a forever war. Trump's talked about not wanting to ever have forever wars. We didn't have any wars when he was first in office, and now we might have one, but we hope we don't.
Remember, we were in the forever war when he was in office. He said he was going to get us out of that war. Then Joe Biden is the president who got us out of that war. And remember,
the Afghan withdrawal, which
which goes to show you.
Yeah, but we also lost millions of dollars worth of equipment. We had billions. 12 troops were innocently killed. Mind you, rest in peace. And before everything, we got to make sure we God bless the troops. Any troops putting boots on the ground in Iran or any of these foreign countries.
Right.
There's a lot of things that I would not do that these people would do, and I commend them for that.
Yeah, it's not an easy thing to do, man. I come from a family with a ton of people from the military, so I understand I understand how they think on that, and nobody wants to do it, but they do it because they have to.
Yeah.
Which means you can never get out of war easily.
You need to have U.S. military bases throughout the world, which we.
But why?
To protect us in case people wish death upon us. People don't like America.
But why do you think? Well, first of all, a lot of people really do like America. What they don't like,
which are a small minority, but that small minority.
But also, you have to take into consideration almost 80 years of imperialism and sabotage. We've overthrown democratically elected, socialized countries for as long as since before I was alive. So there is a reason why people don't like us. They don't want us.
Yeah.
I don't want Russia meddling in my country. We should not be meddling in other people's affairs.
I've been, like I said, I went to Israel and Ukraine, met great people, and it's interesting. Sure, that same thing would happen if I went to Russia. When I went to a cafe and people would be nice to me, they'd receive me. It's not the people of the country, it's the leaders and the regime that really are the ones that cause a lot of this stuff. And it's focusing on history that's so far back when we should be focusing more on the present and figuring out how we can better get along.
Our country is susceptible because we do not have modern infrastructure. As somebody who studies cybersecurity, we are susceptible to all kinds of infrastructure, grid attacks, and everything else. You think that the country that couldn't not handle that,
she don't have military she don't have military hardware and software in her freaking office in the University of Washington or wherever the fuck it is they are.
Yeah.
UW don't have that, dude. The military's much more sophisticated. You're not just cracking. It ain't War Games with Matthew Broderick. That was a fucking movie, not reality.
Wearing masks and not going to Applebee's is going to do well when the water and the electricity goes down for 3 months. Like, we really have to think about war is a monster that you think you have on a leash until you don't.
So that's why we need to prevent it from getting to the homeland.
Well, but they're not.
Right.
Right? That's the worry that like Trump talked about. If they do get that nuclear weapon, the odds of it reaching the United States is low, right? But just the potential of it, a nuclear weapon potentially reaching the United States would be really bad.
Well, think about it this, okay? If a nuclear bomb, bomb dropped, right? There's your damage.
I think, say the United States does enter into this war with Iran, this is a whole other topic, I think we'll start seeing a rise in terrorist attacks across the United States. I think there's tons of sleeper cells here. I've met people that came across the border that were from Iran, and I worry that some of those people could be sleeper cells. They could not like America, and they could start.
Well, do you think though that if they did,
you never know what happens.
Do you think if they felt that way that they would come to America?
The only way America could really fall.
Yeah, we just had it happen in Texas.
Yeah, they did. And there was another one that just happened in Washington, D.C. yesterday.
Exactly. So, like, this lady...
Well, that was a nice thing. It was a stabbing thing.
Like I said, most people talk out of their ass. This dumb bitch is talking out of her mask.
Yeah, she doesn't...
An attack from the inside. And so, for instance, if the CCP sends in a bunch of
isolated
Chinese
in her
spies,
little
Chinese
college
military men,
bubble, and I get it.
I think that's a lot more complicated, though. I mean,
right now we have people protesting the United States going after illegal immigrants that came here illegally.
We are against the deportation of people who came here legally, had their status changed, and are now being called illegal.
That's not the case for a lot of people.
But it is the case for the majority of them. It isn't the case. Like,
if someone's here illegally,
but
they also run the risk. Like, if they cross that border illegally, they know that, okay, I have the risk of being deported, so you can't be mad when you do get deported. When Biden was in office, he did give around like 400,000.
That's absolutely true. You know, if you do the crime, you got to be prepared to do the time.
Right. They know that, and he's right. You know that penalty coming across the border. Now, I'm sure they were telling him when Joe Biden was president, they were getting people, they were getting those people to pay them money to bring the cartels to bring them up. I'm sure they were, you'll be fine. Joe Biden loves you. He's going to put you up in a hotel.
Yeah.
Because they did. They did.
Right.
They're putting them up in 5-star hotels. That incentive has been taken away.
Yep.
People from Cuba, Venezuela, Nicaragua, and Haiti, he gave them protection status. He was flying these people in. He was flooding the system. And then what Trump did, he took that off.
Well, okay, so ask yourself, how many people in the percentage of Americans are 400,000 people? Like, there's 330 million people in America. Yeah. So you're talking about 400,000 people? You've almost secured like the loss of workforce, like the workforce that maybe died over the year.
400,000 people is she talking about? Did I miss something?
Chick's just an idiot, dude.
Who's the 400,000? Is she talking about Iran?
Yeah, she's an idiot, dude.
Is she saying Iran only has 400,000 people?
No, she's talking about here.
It's not. Well, and let me ask you this.
Like America,
yeah,
they could start.
Well, do you think though that if they did,
you never know what happens.
Do you think if they felt that way that they would come to America?
The only way America could really fall is if there was an attack from the inside. And so, for instance, if the CCP sends in a bunch of Chinese spies, a bunch of Chinese military men, they could then attack.
I think that's a lot more complicated, though. I mean,
right now we have people protesting the United States going after illegal immigrants that came here illegally.
We are against the deportation of people who came here legally, had their status changed, and are now being called illegal.
That's not the case for a lot of people.
But it is the case for the majority of them. It isn't the case. Like,
if someone's here illegally,
but
they also run the risk. But if they cross that border illegally, they know.
Here's what this chick doesn't understand, okay? They came over here illegally, and Joe Biden allowed them to stay here, made them think it was legal. But we took that status away. That's what she's not understanding.
Yeah, the 400,000 she must have just been using to compare numbers as an example or something, because I don't know where she came up with the 400,000 from, but whatever.
Okay, I had the risk of being deported, so you can't be mad when you do get deported. When Biden was in office, he did give around like 400,000 from Cuba, Venezuela, Nicaragua, and Haiti. He gave them protection status.
Amnesty.
He was flying these people in.
Right.
He was flooding the system. And then what Trump did, he took that off.
Well, okay, so ask yourself, how many people in the percentage of Americans are 400,000 people? Like there's 330 million people in America. Yeah. So you're talking about 400,000 people. You've almost secured like the loss of workforce, like the workforce that maybe died over the year. Like 400,000 people is not. Well, and let me ask you this:
100,000 people is enough to affect a swing state.
But they're not in swing states.
They sent a lot of these people to swing states. Like that.
Yeah, they
I
did.
believe that's part of the plan. It's just bring in the people, give them citizenship, and then a lot of them you found them in swing states.
But they don't have citizenship if
that was the plan.
That's wrong, because when I used to work at Chipotle, I watched
Hold on. When I used to work at Chipotle,
I watched my manager literally give illegal immigrants dead people's social security numbers. So don't tell me that it doesn't happen when I watched it happen.
No, it definitely happens. The fraud goes without saying. First of all, the 400,000 of the amnesty I did not agree with of Joe Biden doing, but I definitely didn't agree with the 18 million he let follow in before and after.
Right.
But the citizenship is still a long-term process.
But that was the plan, to increase it so it wasn't as long-term of a process.
Like 4 years?
And it was just caught that the CCP was making fake IDs so people could vote in states like California. And the FBI just released that the other day.
You know what?
So that's what concerns me.
Now
we're getting on a different topic, but
I mean, well, no, because I think it is on topic, because my question for you is like, what information are you hearing? Because this is obviously not stuff that I'm seeing
from the FBI on their X, on their socials.
Go on their
website. The CCP
website.
is printing IDs.
Yes, they got caught.
Okay, so the CCP, the Chinese, right? The Chinese Communist Party is printing IDs like in a. Let me ask you this: if your attention is a pie, right? Is your attention being paid to the largest problems at hand?
Dude, you could tell he just stumped the shit out of her.
Yeah, she doesn't. Now she's just going to make shit up because she doesn't know what to say.
Yeah.
The 400,000 thing I got confused on because I didn't hear Nick say that.
Yeah.
I thought she was just throwing a number out there. Obviously, I was wrong, but now she really is just throwing shit in the air and hoping it flies.
Yeah, she's very combative right now. She's going to go into reactive mode.
I think that's pretty important right there.
Well, but here's my question for you: is let's say that we had more fraud being committed by a bank. Let's say a bank did more crime, more fraud. They did 100. They did criminal intent to 100,000 people.
Say it's always
and the CCP managed to print some IDs and get fake votes into 50 people. So if your attention is a pie, which portion of your attention should you be like? It's not. You don't have unlimited attention. So if you're paying more attention to,
it should be given just as amount of attention to one issue as to the other. Well, I mean, that's a pretty big one if the CCP is coming in here. But
do we know what America does in China?
No.
Exactly. So we don't know if we aren't doing similar things.
Well, what do you care what's going on in China? This is the country you live in. You shouldn't want them to come into your country invading our elections. What is wrong with these people, bro? How did the Democratic Party become so anti-American to where they're willing to say, yes, Chinese Communist Party, please come in and please make fake IDs to vote in our elections and to swing our elections. Please come do this. Please, Ayatollah, come be our president. Please, we love you. Where did the Democratic Party go with this? I don't get it, bro.
Honestly, dude, I'm beginning to think that this is just a faction. I mean, there's no way because, dude, I've been reading. Eric Adams has made, statements now. Obviously, Fetterman's made statements. Manchin just made a statement recently. Dude, this is just a level of crazy that is happening in the universities. Seriously, this is a cult of ideology. The guy that he interviewed first said it clearly. This is a revolution. They're going to say whatever they have to say. They're going to be useful idiots because they want to overthrow a country that when they overthrow it, they're going to have less liberties and less rights, and they're going to regret it, and it'll be too late.
Over in China.
It hasn't came out that we are doing that.
But we don't know that. You think that we get news
But that
from
just
China?
came out. That did happen. So
yeah,
that's
right.
the information that we can't trust as of right now.
Here in America,
right?
but we don't know.
We know. Well, Trump says that him and Xi Jinping have an excellent relationship. He just said that the other day. But
he says a lot of things.
I know he does say a lot of things, right? He keeps us all entertained.
If we're complaining about actions that we're doing in other countries, is it fair for us to, like, as people, like, we allow our government to go do the same thing in their country?
Do we know that?
Yeah. We can't tell another country, while we have nuclear bombs, that they can't have
But
nuclear
really
power.
know that?
We can't do that. That's error.
Well, we're not psychotic individuals who, because of our religion, thinks that everybody else should die if they're not part of our religion. That's why. That's the difference. That's not who we are.
Right. Well, there is a correction I'm going to make for her too, because she says we're not letting them have nuclear power. That's wrong. We're not letting them have what they need to make nuclear weapons, but they can have a nuclear power plant for energy. Nobody's going to stand in the way of that.
Yeah.
Nobody will stand in the way of that. And I believe they actually already have a couple. So
I called the White House the other day.
Really? You called them?
I did.
What'd you
What a
say?
psycho.
I said, please, no matter what, do not go to war with Iran. We need to talk about America's rightful place in the world.
Yeah, like anyone's going to listen to you with your fucking mask on in 2026, you dumb dingbat. They probably heard her calling and said, they don't even have to see her and said, oh, this bitch has a mask on. We ain't listening to anything she says.
or they did worse than that. And they were like, yes, ma'am, getting to it. I'll make sure they get the message. Goodbye.
We are 4% of the global population.
Crazy.
You're right on the top scenario.
Crazy.
Why do we have to be the top? Why can't we just be a good nation?
Well, that's all you can do with crazy.
Why would you be anything
That's
but
all you can do with
first?
it. Just
Why does it matter if you're first?
Thank you very much.
That's a story for another day.
Thank you very much. Wow, that was. She had a lot of things to say, everybody.
Quick question. Which are you like influencers or what?
My name is Nick Shirley. We're an independent YouTube journalist here.
What's your YouTube name and what's your public stance, or like what's the goal of your YouTube?
Yeah, we're talking to people here at this protest, asking what their thoughts are on potentially going to a war.
Right. But so what's the purpose?
We're just talking to people, getting their opinions. Like you, what do you think we should do?
No. I want to understand like where do you stand?
What he's trying to tell you, you dingbat, is that he's being non-biased with what he's saying, and he just wants people's opinions. Well, how hard is it for these people to just understand common sense, bro?
Because that's not what they're trying to do. They're trying to deflect. They're trying to turn it around. Because, dude, look at their crowd, man. They already know they lost.
Right.
Dude, look at that crowd. That's not a crowd. That's a gathering. That's an AA meeting right there, bro.
Exactly.
I've seen more people in an AA meeting.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing.
You know what I mean?
Giving people the option to
Can I get your
express their
card?
belief.
Where can I
I don't have a business card.
Can I get you on YouTube?
Yeah, it's Nick Shirley. What do you think is going to happen?
I don't know. I mean, I hope for the best.
I hope we don't get in war.
Well, listen, we don't want nuclear war, right?
Yeah, right. So do you think it's better if, for instance, you don't want a nuclear war, I don't want a nuclear war. Do you think it's better if the United States were to enter into the war right now and destroy these nuclear facilities that Iran supposedly has?
I'm pro-America. I'm an immigrant. Clearly, you can still hear from my accent. I'm pro-America. I'm very patriotic. So I'm a first-generation immigrant. I love this country. I swore under oath to protect this country. But I disagree with the foreign policy of getting engaged in wars in other countries.
I don't think the United States...
I can respect that, Bird.
I don't
agree with her, but I can respect it.
I can respect it, but at the same time, if you love those countries so much, why'd you leave them?
Oh, I think she's talking about America. She says she loves being in America.
But she said she disagrees with our foreign policies, though, right?
Yeah.
And what I'm saying is, if you don't like what's going on with Iran or Palestine, why'd you leave there?
Exactly. No, she kind of made it sound. It sounds to me like she likes America better, a lot more. I don't see her going back if she don't have to.
But then why wear this? I don't know. I don't get it, bro.
I know. I agree with you, dude. It's an oxymoron. It's a jumbo.
Thank you very much, man.
Yeah.
Have a good one. How are you guys doing?
It's actually hypocrisy is what it is.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
Yeah. Okay.
It's kind of a smaller protest. I think the spirit of protesters across America is dwindling down. But let's keep talking to some of the folks out here. War for billionaires, Greater Israel, BB, oil, really? Do you guys trust information we're getting from Israel about Iran's nuclear facilities?
No, absolutely not.
Why would I trust what Israel has to say about anything, really? Especially in wartime.
Oh, I thought we were about to get hit. Yeah, let's take a step back a little bit.
I mean, like we said, it's not really wartime right now.
No, and clearly any boomer who's wearing a bicycle helmet and he's not on his bicycle, it's a little hard to take them fucking seriously, dude. You make jokes about people like that. Seriously. Is he going to stick his tongue on the fucking school bus window next? I mean, come on. The fuck, man. Take that hat off, you fucking jack off.
I just got hit by a car, everybody. What do you think is the probability that the Ayatollah comes to the United States and has a meeting with Trump in the Oval Office?
Zero.
Yeah. Trump just said he might. He's playing with the option of it. What do you think would happen in the Oval Office if that meeting did happen?
I would be wondering if the Ayatollah would make it to Washington and not be murdered on the way. Given the past performance of Trump.
Given the fact that the Israelis
he tried to kill Trump
or
twice.
assassinated the
Trump just got to him first.
Yeah,
he just won.
Yeah.
negotiators who were negotiating a nuclear deal. Why would you trust? And also the fact that the U.S. did not negotiate in good faith, I would think that they would only negotiate through a third party.
And who do you trust more? The Ayatollah?
They've been negotiating with those fuckers for 13 months, dude, and nothing's come out of it. They only understand violence. That's all they understand.
Haven't we been trying to negotiate with them? I don't understand what these guys are doing.
Yeah, we did. We tried. We've been trying up until like 3 months ago, dude, and it just got hopeless after a while.
Crazy.
Because, dude,
Yahoo.
The old man Frank Petak said it best back 30 years ago. He's like, all they understand, he's like, the one thing the communists and the Islamists have in common, they only respect and only understand violence. That's it. And military violence is what they know.
The Ayatollah.
Why so?
They just don't have really a history of lying, and their country is not involved in full-time aggression around the world, everywhere, at all times. So, whereas Israel and the United States are clearly warmongering nations.
Do you think Trump's a warmonger?
Yeah.
I don't know if he's a warmonger. I'd say he's a con man. I don't think he's I don't think he's honest, and so I don't think you can trust what he says.
I personally don't think he's a warmonger.
I don't think he's interested in war, but I don't think he's someone you can trust.
Plenty I kind of catch.
Yeah. Okay.
People are heading out. This was a pretty quick protest.
It was. Thousands and thousands of people are going to die. Hundreds of thousands of people are going to die. Tens of thousands will probably be Americans. For what? For what? Okay.
Yeah,
For
that's
what?
what I'm like referring to. Like, I wouldn't want to go die in a foreign war on soil that's not where I'm from.
Well, I mean, if it was for the preservation of this country, I can see doing it. If it seemed absolutely necessary, I mean, that's what you do.
Unless
that's
what
Iran
It is for the preservation
That's
of
what
our
Iran
country.
is
We
doing.
took out some asshole that said death to America.
Right, yeah, these people are chanting death to America. Of course we're going to, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Remain
we should,
for years.
Yeah, I'll be quiet. We'll let them finish up so we can finish.
I guess.
My bad.
You're good.
For this kind of contingency where Israel or the United States would invade them and try to take them over.
Because no doubt I would go fight for my country if it's necessary.
Most people would.
And Trump and J.D. Vance have said that too. Like, we don't want to send any soldiers unless it is necessary.
Yeah.
And if they do go to war, we're going to make sure you guys are equipped with everything you need.
Mm-hmm.
And then this lady over here, we were talking to her, and she was acting like we're already depleted in supplies. I think we have more supplies than anybody. More than just about any other country in the world.
I'm not sure.
Who knows what China or North Korea's got, but between China, North Korea, Russia, the U.S., I think those are probably the main four suppliers out of all the countries.
Beyond me, I've heard a lot of analysts talking about these kinds of things, and
it's hard to trust people when they just sit behind a desk and they don't really go to the locations. They don't go check out the facilities. So who really knows what information we're reading? It's like we're fighting an information war these days as well.
Can I ask you, who do you represent?
My name's Nick Shirley on YouTube. I represent myself.
Oh, okay.
But thank you so much for your time, sir.
Okay, yeah.
We appreciate you.
Good luck.
Good luck. Have a great rest of your day.
See, that goes to show that Nick Shirley has a lot of class and decorum.
Yeah, he does.
Regardless, he doesn't agree with this guy. Nick Shirley's more on Trump's side, but he's still willing, hey, thank you for your time, because it's like, at the end of the day, like, whether we disagree or agree, we should still be able to talk to each other.
Exactly. I mean, and the First Amendment, is there. And sometimes you have to hear speech you don't like. And Nick Shirley is really good at doing that. Because honestly, if I don't agree with what the guy's saying, but I agree with how he's handling it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's doing the right thing. He's
all right. We'll
letting
see.
them talk.
Yeah,
we can find a hot chick to interview.
A
How
hot
you guys
chick.
doing?
There you
We asked
go.
some of you guys
Find a
some
hot
questions.
chick.
Any predictions on what the U.S. is going to do? What Trump's going to do? He said the other day
Good
he's
luck
going
at,
to give 2 weeks. Do you think he's
protest, but
he's
okay.
bluffing?
I think I don't even know if he's bluffing. He's just, he doesn't really know what he's doing.
If
To
you were
me,
president, what would you do?
I definitely would not go to war. I would try to negotiate, and I would get, people to the table to talk, because that's how we try.
But 13 months of negotiation, and the end result is them screaming, chanting "Death to America." I mean,
Pretty much.
What more is there to talk about?
I agree. That's where we're at right now.
Try to solve a very, very difficult situation.
Yeah, the president, the Ayatollah in Iran, he's not really negotiating right now. If someone's not willing to come to the table, what should we do?
I know, but okay. Anyway.
Oh man, we have.
Well, you knew that was coming.
Let's get one more interview.
That's what they did. Well, I guess
I can give you my opinion.
What do you think?
You knew that was coming.
What's gonna happen?
I think, unfortunately, Trump is gonna go to war, but I think it's gonna be a bad decision, and it's gonna ruin the world. I think it's gonna ruin the U.S. too before anyone else.
In what ways would it ruin the U.S., do you think?
Well, I think it's gonna be very expensive. It's gonna kill a lot of Americans. It's gonna destroy a lot of American bases in the region, and at the end of it, it's going to be more destructive than the Iraq War.
Do you think this would be more destructive than the Iraq War?
100%. Iran is a bigger country, has more people, and it has at this point it has more military capabilities than Iraq did in 2003. So,
well, here's the difference, though. The people in Iraq weren't celebrating what happened.
No, they definitely were not. And there weren't people in, Saddam Hussein was killing a bunch of Kurds, and he did gas a bunch of his own people. And
right.
So he was killing them off. But so was Iran, dude. They've killed 5,000 or 6,000 people just in the last year. So
yeah, it's ridiculous.
And they've been killing protesters like crazy over there.
Yeah.
So it is what it is.
There's no reason to believe that it's going to be in any way that's destructive.
How long do you think a war would last for? I've talked to veterans, and they say that this would be more precision attacks. Like it would not essentially even be a war.
Isn't that what they said in 2003?
I was alive then, but I was 2 years old. So
I mean, I was also not that old, but I've read and I've seen what they said, and they said the same thing. They said it's going to be a quick war, precision strike.
And it was.
We're going to be in and out.
They were trying to find Osama bin Laden. They didn't find him until Obama was president.
Exactly.
George Bush did not do a very good job.
I mean, I don't think any of them did a good job. Not Obama, not George Bush, not Biden. No one did a good job with foreign policy, in my opinion, in this country. But ultimately, they said the same thing about Iraq. They said we're going to be in and out. There's this. You can look this up. It's a meme actually now, where Bush stood.
Well, here's the thing, though, right? How is it that they're let's play devil's advocate. It could be the other countries why our foreign policies look so bad. You know what I mean? It might not be our fault why it looks so bad. It could be their fault.
Fair enough.
On this ship.
I thought he was done already.
No,
my bad.
A big banner says we did it, mission accomplished, and declared victory in 2003. Within a month or two, I think. I don't remember exactly, but it within immediately after the war, he said we did it. We took out Saddam. Iraq is liberated. Mission accomplished. We're ready to go. And then 10 years later, they're still there. Even if it is a short war, it's ultimately, in my opinion, it's an immoral war, right? Why are we going to war with Iran, spending millions of dollars, trillions of dollars even potentially, when we have people here who are homeless? And when Trump is trying to cut Medicaid and Medicare for people and trying to cut social benefits here, Israel has free healthcare. Do you know that? Mm-hmm. We pay them billions of dollars a year. They get free healthcare. We don't.
Yeah.
Right?
There's definitely a lot of things that are weird about the relationship between the United States and Israel. I don't think anyone can question that.
Yeah.
Right?
Totally.
And there's weird things with a lot of relationships the United States have. Why do we give Ukraine so much money? Why do we give them billions of dollars? Meanwhile, we had money here.
Yeah, billions of dollars.
Why did Hunter Biden have relationships inside of the energy fields in Ukraine?
I 100%
what the heck was going on right there?
Corruption,
you know what I mean?
for sure.
There's a lot of corruption.
Right? 100%.
And everyone needs to do their own research and formulate their own opinion and see what's going on. Thank you.
Thank you.
Best of luck whenever you do.
Thank you.
Have a good one.
You too.
The protest is over. That was
There
the
you go.
quickest protest I've ever seen in my entire life. If you guys are not subscribed, make sure you guys are subscribed.
That was a pretty weak protest. He's not lying.
That was small as fuck, dude. I was like I said, there was probably more people at the beginning of that No Kings protest than there are at this entire one. So
right.
Bottom line, Nick Shirley went after him. He got him to tell the truth. He got him to tell us how he feels, and this is really just about them they want to bring America down, dude. Every one of those people, except for the guy with the helmet. I don't even know what his purpose was, other than he's just a boomer who hates war, I guess.
Yeah, hey, you chant death to America, you F around and find out. Sorry, buddy.
That's right. Well, they always say if you grab the bull, if you fuck with the bull, you get the horn.
Yep, so, there you go. And
I think that's where we're at.
And Donald Trump's the bull. So on
that's
that
right,
note,
and they fuck with the horn.
On that note, we're going to end it. Just remember, without God, none of this is possible. I want to thank Double D, thank the audience, and thank my friends and family.
And as always, Bird, thanks for making the show happen. Audience, thanks for sticking around. And as always, let me thank my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. And with all that, good night, y'all.
All right, everybody, have a good one. Peace.